Okay, cut the clip and start again. Behind the scenes. Cheers.
I spilled it everywhere. I got too excited.
Spit take. I'm like swallowing my hair.
Yeah.
You ever do that? I don't know. My hair is long. So sometimes, not all the time. This is like rare. This isn't like
has happened to me.
Me being weird eating my hair is not what I'm trying to get across. But it's like maybe if I'm like chugging or slamming something and I have a hair, it's like connected, but maybe I'll swallow it a little and I pull it out of my throat.
Right. There was a time where my hair must have just been like the perfect length. And if I would literally inhale my hair. Like, I don't know what it was, but like I had just gotten a haircut, and like for a little while after that, literally inhaling my hair. Because it never happened to me before.
Like, because it was just cut at the perfect
It just
height.
must have been the perfect length.
Like the ends were going into your throat. Like you were
like literally.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I like blankets, and I have some you know, where like they tie and it's like a little string design on the end. And sometimes when I'm sleeping, I'll put the blanket over my head and I'll feel myself choking on the blanket. And I have to like pull the strings out of my throat. Hi guys, welcome to Two Neurons, One Mic.
My name is Melissa, in case you forgot or didn't know.
My name is Abby. Yeah, same deal. If you're not up to our TikToks and intros, if you haven't watched the intro, highly suggest you go back. It's only a quick 8 to 10 minute episode.
Yes. But it's good.
Informative.
Yeah. What do you have any stories?
I actually do want to talk about a very girl experience that I had today, because car maintenance is not my thing, which I'm sure a lot of the girlies can relate. You turn it on, it makes a noise, you turn the radio up, you get to your destination, and repeat, right? I'm not worried about the lights. I'm not worried about the maintenance.
No, it still gets to A to B.
I'm just stopping at the red lights and getting to where I'm going. So we're preparing for some severe weather here in Florida, if you will. And tomorrow, aka today, because it's early in the morning, we're going to get some heavy rain and tornadoes and just some inclement weather, if you will. You know, whatever. It's Florida. It's fine. It's
But
another
not a
Saturday.
hurricane.
Not a hurricane. It's another Saturday. This could happen at any time. But my windshield wipers have had no rubber, little to no rubber, for a couple months now, probably. You know, so just not, I can't really see. And I'm like, okay, cool. If I'm gonna have to drive through a tornado accompanied by rain, probably time, I'll just get some fucking new windshield wipers. So I go to AutoZone this morning and I ask the guy, and he's asking me all these questions about the car. Sir, I don't know. I don't fucking know. He's walking in the store and out of the store to my car at least 3 times to verify all of this information.
The manual.
And you know, that would have been smart.
I think he should have thought of that.
He should have, but he did. But he figured it out.
Okay.
Well, really, did he figure it out? I don't know. He just told me what to buy.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I knew I was going to ask him to put them on. And I was like, and he was telling me, he was like, these are the easy ones, okay? You want these ones. These ones easy to put on.
Okay, you're fucking stupid.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. So if that makes your life easier, $40, let's go. I don't fucking care. Run my card. So we get to the point where he tells me which ones to purchase. We go out to my car and he's trying to attach them. And again, guys, inclement weather on the way. It's a little windy. It's a little drizzly. So he's opening the packaging. And I got the easy ones, but I guess I also have an easy car to attach them to. Again, I don't know. I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
And so all of these pieces fall out of the packaging and they're blowing all over the parking lot. They're flying everywhere. This man is like fighting with the wind, trying to get my old windshield wipers off. And I feel bad. So I'm crawling around the parking lot trying to pick up all the trash. And he's like, just keeps dropping everything. He's laying things on the hood. The wind is blowing it. I'm in the bush. I'm under the car. I'm on the sidewalk. Like, I'm everywhere trying to pick up this fucking trash. And then he opens the next pack and the same thing. And by the time he's done, I have a mountain of trash in my arms trying to cradle it. I'm like, can I throw this away? He's like, yeah, I don't need any of that. But I'm just like, I never want to get windshield wipers ever again.
That was bad.
And then he was like, oh, that was so nice. You don't have to pick that up. Were you gonna run down fucking South Tamiami Trail and get the trash? Like, yes, I did have to pick it up. The wind is here, guys.
Run to the streets.
There's 6 lanes of traffic. Are you gonna go get that plastic? So, yeah, that was my morning, and I never plan to do that again.
But at least you have windshield wipers now.
I have windshield wipers now. And the guy was really cool. He was trying to explain to me, and he was like, this fucking thing here, no goddamn reason for this. And I'm just in the bushes.
I love that. That was a good story.
Thank you. That was
When you were on your way here, I was literally thinking, I was like, oh, I really hope she got those windshield wipers. Because what if it starts raining on your way home?
muscle memory. I could definitely get home.
Close your eyes.
Exactly. The red light usually takes, 15 seconds to turn this late at night? I could get home.
Okay.
Could I get 37 minutes to work? Probably not.
No.
But I don't have to work tomorrow anyways because tornadoes.
Amazing.
So really, I did this for nothing, but I'm glad I did it.
That reminds me of the time in college. My CRV. I hated that thing. And the tires were so worn down that, it was hard to stop. I had nightmares about it. I had nightmares of not being able to stop my car and fucking rolling it.
Oh, like in the rain, would you hydroplane?
Oh, yeah.
Or just all the time?
Even not in the rain. I would keep a long distance between me and the car in front of me because you never knew.
7 car lengths.
I was just...
Please stop. Please stop.
And then finally, my boyfriend at the time was like, well, take it to my uncle's shop. And I was like, okay, thanks. And they were like, ma'am, were you driving this thing? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, you should not have been driving this. They were very mad at me. What else do you want me to do?
I get the point to
Be safe.
Inform you that maybe that wasn't a good choice, but at the same time, while you're actively getting it fixed and nothing bad happened, what the fuck is the point in lecturing you? You didn't know.
Exactly. And I didn't even have money for the new tires. I called my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dad.
You're just doing your best.
And I don't think he was happy that he had to pay for new tires.
Meh.
But I'm like, you knew this was coming.
Car maintenance is a regular thing.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
Exactly. So.
But yeah, I don't get the mechanics just lecturing, oh my god, your oil is chunky and black. You're okay?
Fix it. Fix it. That's why I came.
That quite literally means nothing to me.
Yeah.
What is it supposed to look like? Oil is meant to get dirty.
I always thought when you change the oil, you actually just put new oil in and you didn't get rid of the old oil. Apparently the car I have now, after once it gets into 100,000 miles, apparently it just stops. The engine just doesn't work.
That's what happened to
And I have the other version of yours.
Yes. So
I gotta sell that baby.
Not to spread hate to any brand, but Chevy has just not been reliable to me. I guess we could dive into these horror stories.
Let's do it.
So I have a Chevy, and I too, once my mileage got to I think it was 120,000, I had to get a new transmission, and that was so expensive. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm literally, and that's a northern car, guys. I would drive. I grew up in Pennsylvania, but I went to college in Florida. So I'm driving from Pennsylvania to Florida once or twice a year. A car is meant to be driven. What do you mean after so many miles you need a new transmission?
That's such a big thing, I feel
Such a big expense. And then literally 1 year later, my car doesn't even start. It doesn't even turn on. The brakes don't work. The key is stuck in the ignition. I paid $5,000 for a new transmission, and it literally sits in a parking space.
I know. Because I love my car.
You
love
love your
Cheryl.
car.
Cheryl's so good to me.
For now.
But that day's gonna come.
She's a traitorous hoe. I know it.
Yeah. Ugh. But I love Cheryl.
But also you can enjoy your time with her now and
Right.
know that the contract is going to be up soon.
Yes.
And that's okay. You can move on to something else.
I think when she gets to 100,000, I'm gonna sell her, and hopefully they'll just scrap her. Cause I can't just like run her to the ground and then her be such an expense, and then have to buy a new car from like scratch.
Learn from my mistake. Don't do that.
How
Don't do that.
were you supposed to know your car was gonna do that?
I didn't purchase the car. My parents were gracious enough to give it to me. I said, thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'm fucked. I'm still grateful for having a car while I had it.
Right. Now it just sits in the apartment parking lot.
And that's fine. We'll get rid of her. I need to sell her next month before my insurance is due, because there's no way.
Cars.
We buy junk cars. I'm pretty sure there's a 333. The universe told me to give it to them.
Perfect.
But yeah, I think you should just enjoy Cheryl. Take her on some road trips.
I need to.
Really love and cherish her. And then once she starts approaching maybe like 95, 100,000,
Mhm.
just start considering,
It just breaks my heart.
well, how many miles are on her now? How much
I
time do you
think
have?
60,000.
Oh, fuck.
I know. Poor
But what-
Cheryl.
It's newer than mine, so maybe they fixed the kink.
That's what I was hoping, but Alex sent me a TikTok about how they have a bunch of Chevys in this like lot that are just absolutely broken, need their engines replaced, and how many miles they have on them.
I believe that. You can get a Volvo with me.
Yeah, they're really safe. Period.
I was going to make a joke about Edward Cullen, but no.
Who's
Because,
that?
you know, like from Twilight,
Oh,
like Edward Cullen always had a new Volvo.
really?
I want to say,
I guess
I'm
I don't
pretty
know the
sure.
guy.
I'm pretty sure they
Like
heavily
his
sponsored.
character?
Yes.
Oh,
Like in the
I
movie.
see.
Like in the movies, he was
Uh-huh.
always driving. Like in each movie, he had a different Volvo. I'm pretty
That's
sure they were
funny.
like heavily sponsored.
So Volvo.
Good enough for Edward Cullen, good enough for me. Although I was Team Jacob, but like they looked pretty. A lot of responsibility.
A lot of money.
Yes.
If money weren't a problem, it wouldn't be a problem.
I would have a G-Wagon and I would just get a new one. I would be like Lisa fucking Vanderpump getting a summer Porsche and a summer Bentley.
Right?
And oh, you didn't like, what the fuck did Ken say? He was like, oh, I know you didn't really like how the doors looked of that other Rolls Royce, so I got you another one. That would be my life.
Yes.
I love Lisa. Good for you, Lisa.
I want to meet her.
Same.
I want to be her employee.
We should go work as her.
We should drop everything.
Drop.
I
I think we should. Just take a little trip.
It seems like the life. It probably isn't.
Considering Tom Sandoval can't buy out Ariana. Probably not. Unless he just doesn't manage his money well.
He does have that bar.
This is, I don't know if this is only my memory. Nobody else has had this childhood experience, but I swear to God it was a thing.
Let's hear it.
So anybody in the comments, please validate me. Because I swear I'm not crazy.
She's begging.
Do you remember whenever Kellogg's and like all of the cereals used to have like prizes in the box?
Yeah.
And it would be like computer games and things like that. And it would quite literally be like a CD in the box.
Uh-huh.
I remember whenever the Goofy movie came out, it was like Goofy's son was
Yeah.
the skateboarder.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was like Frosted Flakes or something had the video game in one of the boxes that I got. And I would play the video game on my computer. And it was like, you got to be Goofy's son aspiring to be Tony Hawk. And I fucking loved that game. And I would play it all the time. And then I asked people about it. I'm like, oh my God, you remember that game? And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm like, if you talk about the Bratz game for the PS2 when that came out in like fucking 2004, everybody fucking played Bratz. Everybody fucking played Tony Hawk. Everybody played fucking the WWE wrestling games. But no one recalls the Goofy skateboarder.
I do not recall. But also, I'm trying to think if my mom really wouldn't let us eat cereal as a kid. Like on weekends we could,
Okay.
but like it wasn't filling enough for school,
Yeah.
she would say.
I mean, I guess that's valid now that I'm an adult. I'm like, yeah, I get it. What we're going to talk about next, guys, is kind of a topic that could blossom into several different tangents and directions. But kind of the grand scheme is 25 and what the fuck. So, basically, when I was a child, and I'm sure everybody had the same kind of view, whenever you're like 7 and you think about being 25, you're like, holy fuck, that's an adult.
Mhm.
I'm sure that at 25, I would be married. I would want to be married. I would want to be a younger mom, not like 16 and pregnant, but like you know, not like 40 and having my first kid.
Right.
So I always thought whenever I was little, I'd be married by 25 and have a kid by like 26. And that's what like our parents did. I feel like everybody in like the 90s did that.
Seriously.
Our parents were maybe still caught up in like, I don't know, like I feel like their generation was more, I don't want to say the American dream necessarily, but they followed pretty much the same timeline.
Almost like that ideal.
Yeah. Getting
Thing.
married in your 20s, having kids. And
Mhm.
yeah, I want to say that's what most people did. But now I am 25 and literally what the fuck? Like I am single, don't want kids before 30, if at all.
Don't want to be a teen mom.
Don't want to be a teen mom. If I feel like if I got pregnant now, I would be like, fuck, my mom's gonna kill me. But like I'm an adult
Seriously.
and be like, I can't tell anybody. Like my mom's gonna be so mad.
I have to keep this a secret.
But like I'm an adult with adult money. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like 16, but I am like mentally 19 still. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I just
And I
I
keep
feel-
trying to
yeah.
remind myself that, like, because lately I've just been like, ugh, why am I so old? And not old as in, like, I feel old.
I feel like we psych ourselves into thinking we're old because we're 25.
It's like the oldest we've ever been.
yes.
And we're not teenagers.
the youngest we'll ever be
anymore.
again.
Yeah.
But also, what the fuck is the economy and what the fuck is the world? What can you
Girl.
do at 25 that our parents could do? I can't like
Nothing.
I'm gonna say it, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I went to college out of state. I am crippling in student debt. Like quite literally, I can't afford a house. I can't afford a child. I could get married, but if I wanted a wedding that I would actually dream of, I couldn't afford that.
No.
Like I feel like I quite literally am mentally 19 because that's where I am socioeconomically at.
Yeah.
Still.
When I was little, I wanted, you know, like, obviously, I'm like, when I grow up, I want a big wedding. It's going to be beautiful. But now I'm like, I want a small ass wedding, like, catered by KFC in the backyard.
I want my ride or dies there.
Yes.
I want a fuck ton of White Claw and High Noons.
Yes.
And I want to shake my ass to Britney Spears.
Yes.
And that's it. I just want to have a good time with my friends.
Seriously.
I guess the other thing I kind of want to talk about at 25 is I do not use my degree, guys. Okay, so I have a bachelor's in biology and a minor in chemistry. So if you would have asked me quite literally 2 years ago, I would have been like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to get into medical school. I'm going to grind. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I have to do, and I'm going to make it. If you would have asked me 6 years ago, that would have been my answer. If you would have asked me probably 10 years ago, that would have been my answer. Life doesn't always work out like that, and that is okay. That is completely for the best.
Right.
That dream and that vision that I had for my life didn't work out, and I'm like, okay, cool. But with that being said, my 5-year plan from college did not include being 25 and being a bartender. And this is in no way, shape, or form any hate to the service industry. I have worked in the service industry since I was 16. I quite honestly, that is the only way I can survive. I could never work an office job and
I
make.
was about to say, like, I feel like, at least in this economy, you have no other choice.
No, I could never work an
Especially with
office
your
job.
Student loans.
Exactly. I could never. With my working in the service industry, especially in Florida where tourism is huge, and I bartend, so, you know, working in bars, working in hotels, working in, you know, high tourist areas where people are on vacation, they're ready to spend money.
Mhm.
I'm so grateful to live in an area where I can do that because I'm able to make the money to survive and pay my student loans and pay rent and have a life.
Right.
And I'm so grateful for that. I could never, I feel like people that hate on it are just so ignorant.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will be like, oh, when are you going to get a real job? What do you want me to do? Work an entry-level office job for $12 to $15 an hour?
Seriously.
I would live behind Walmart if I did that.
Yeah.
Quite seriously, I would be homeless. I could never fucking make it
Right.
doing that.
It's insane.
The service industry? Fire. You're thinking about it? Fucking do it. No cap.
You
Endless
make good
possibilities
money.
to the amount of money you can make. The
Yeah.
people that you meet. Everybody's just having a good time. Nobody's taking shit seriously.
Right.
And you have, so what? You work late nights, make a couple $100. You have all fucking day to pursue your dreams.
Mhm.
You have all fucking night to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Nobody can judge you.
Right.
And even if people are judging you, they're still fucking tipping you and paying your bills. Who the fuck
Exactly.
cares?
Exactly. You're still making fucking money.
Exactly.
More than what Sally's making at her office job.
That's what I'm saying. And no hate to Sally. If that's what you want to do and you want to work your way up the corporate ladder,
Right.
go for it. This is a judgment-free zone. But I personally,
Not financially suitable.
it's not, it wouldn't work for me. My dreams didn't work out. Were they really my dreams? I don't know. Those aspirations at the time didn't work out. That's for the best. Life redirects. Here I am. With that being said, this is no hate to the service industry. As I've just said, I'm very grateful for my job and my opportunities. But at 25, I never thought, you know, if you're in the industry, you get it. You have side work. You have shit you have to fucking do. If I knew at 25, part of the things that would piss me off every day is the person the day before who worked didn't fucking fill the ranch. And that was gonna fuck me off so bad is why the fuck am I making this many sour cream? Why the fuck do I have to open the new box of ranch every fucking time? Like, I never thought at 25 I would get so aggravated about these things. And I'm just like, what is life sometimes? I'm like, this
Right.
is not that serious. But it's just like one of those things, like that's where my life is at. And this is something that aggravates me. And that is like astonishing to me.
Yeah.
It's like some people are in law school or in medical school or fucking business owners, and I'm pissed about ranch cups.
But that's okay.
That's okay. I just didn't expect it at 25 to be pissed over sour cream and ranch.
That's okay.
I don't know. I guess again, that comes with the debt is the work ethic. Is I'm a fucking grind. I'm gonna pay my bills. I don't give a fuck if I have to work 2 or 3 jobs. I'm not suffering.
Yeah.
I will have everything I want.
Right.
But I guess everybody, and that's okay because that's not my place to judge. It's not everybody wants to work or cares to work.
Right.
And that's fine. Do whatever feels right for you. Be in alignment. If you want a life of leisure, live a fucking life of leisure.
Do what makes you happy.
But I hate doing other people's jobs.
Yeah.
Especially putting my hand in the sour cream. Again, it just, I just never thought that would be something that would piss me off on a daily basis. And I'm just like, okay, this is where we're at, and that's okay.
Yeah. I was thinking, so I'm very lucky. I got a nursing degree, so I'm a nurse. And I'm very lucky to, you know, be able to use my degree. Nurses in Florida get paid like shit. It's
Keep
not
it real. Expose.
Yeah,
Tell the people.
It's not good, and I don't know. I would just blame it on the economy, but you know, it's crazy right now, and there's no way to be able to really live by yourself on a normal nurse's salary right now, at least in this area. But that being said, I also do realize that I'm very lucky because I can pick up a lot of overtime. I only work 3 days a week anyway. It's 12-hour shifts, but it's only 3 days a week. And they have so much overtime available that I'm just very lucky that I can pick all that up. And not only am I like working overtime, I'm getting an incentive for it. So it sucks and I hate it and it wears me out. But at the same time, I am grateful for that. I don't know if I'm like almost gaslighting myself, but I do think about that.
But the bills are paid. Your work ethic and the opportunities that you have to like presented to you, you're a homeowner.
Yeah.
You are able to provide for yourself and give you things you want. You can travel.
It's hard, but
yeah. But you're able to at least give yourself some experiences while you work to further yourself into, you know, a different direction.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a more abundant direction.
Right.
Good things are coming, but you're working hard for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Grinding.
But you should also be really fucking proud, bro. Like, you have a fucking car. You got yourself a car. You have a fucking house.
I think I'm more proud of my car than I am of my house.
That's what you have limited amount of time with your car.
I love Cheryl.
You have your life with this house if you want it. A limited amount of time with Cheryl before she hits 100,000 miles.
Right. So I'll work the overtime so that I can kind of fix up my house, have some spending money. But I'm literally so worn out by the overtime that when I'm not working, I just sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's bad.
It's a lot on your body to work that long. The mental
Yeah.
exhaustion of literally having lives in your hands.
And I didn't realize like how exhausting it was. I thought like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. Like my hormones are off or something. No, I was just working too much.
And that's okay to like acknowledge. Like
Yeah.
everybody has their limit and their threshold.
Right.
So it's okay if like you want the money and you want to work and you have goals and things. And it's okay to realize that that's not a long-term solution to those things.
Right.
You work it on the weeks that you want to or you need to,
Yeah.
but don't feel guilty the days you just work 3 days.
I know. See, that's the other thing I have to get through is if I
Mhm.
don't work overtime, I feel like, God, Melissa, like, why aren't you working overtime this week? Come on, just like step it up.
That's like your ego though. This is something that I've learned. If you're shitting all over yourself, you need to like take a step back, because what you should do is like projections of like what your mind and your ego and what other people's opinions tell you should be doing. Like you should be working, you're going to feel bad about it because whatever that means to you, like does that make you feel lazy? Does that make you feel bad? Does that make you feel whatever?
Yeah.
But really, if you're fucking tired, just shut off the shoulds. What do you want to be doing? Do you want to rest? Do you need that? Like by all means. And I think that's really hard, especially like I guess it's hard like being young, and I don't want to blame the economy for everything, but like the cost of living and things are more expensive and it's
Mhm.
hard whenever, you know, like you have these goals and you work hard and you have things that you want to accomplish. It's hard not to feel bad for constantly working for these things.
Yeah.
But also like where are you going to get if you never give yourself a fucking break? Like
Seriously.
overworking yourself, like you're going to lose your creative freedom. You're going to lose your intuition. You're going to lose
Your drive.
your drive. You're going to lose yourself. You're just going to be so fucking miserable.
Which is almost like kind of what happens when I work a lot. It's like I don't want to get out of bed. I'm literally just going to keep sleeping.
Yeah.
And sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. I'm not going to do anything. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll move to the couch.
And watch Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, and watch Duck Dynasty.
And that's
And
okay.
then on top of that, when I am working a lot and I'm at work, I'm just emotionally drained.
Mhm.
Not that it's like, I usually have like, there are sick patients, but they're not.
You don't work in the ICU.
Yeah, I don't work in the ICU. They're fine. They're okay. I work in a specialty, so a lot of the same issues with all of my patients. It's not hard. It's hard because they give us a good amount of patients and there's just so much to do. But like I get emotionally drained.
Whenever you were like, oh, I want to be a nurse, is this what you envisioned?
I don't think I had any vision.
It just sounded good.
I was like, oh, you know, I can do anything I want being a nurse, really.
Sounds
I
interesting.
can go into legal. I can go into like an office job. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like a safe bet since I didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. And since I was in nursing school during COVID, I didn't really get any clinical hours. I was literally just thrown to the wolves when I started. So I didn't even know what a normal day for a nurse was like.
I love that it all worked out and was just an open adventure for you.
Yeah, and I love chaos. So, I mean, what more can I ask
I mean,
for?
you definitely get that. No day is the same, I'm sure.
Yeah. I like want to talk about the crazy experiences I have at work on the podcast, but I'm so scared of like even the simplest thing can be HIPAA,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
What if we did like a disclaimer like in front of like a reenacted like crime documentary where it's like certain details have been exaggerated,
Right?
and we could just do a little disclaimer and then you could just
Yeah, and I'm not
skew
using
some information just a
Right.
little, and then really it's just a conversation. Can they really catch you at HIPAA whenever you're just like,
I don't think they could, because the only way it would be a HIPAA violation is if somehow someone could track the identity of this person. So, for example, there was a doctor years ago at Johns Hopkins, and I think there was a trauma that came in, and she took a picture of the trauma room after the patient had left. I think the patient died or something. I don't know. But she took a picture of the trauma room, and she said something like, "This is why you wear your seatbelts," maybe. And don't quote me on that. But she took a picture and posted it of just the aftermath. And they fired her like on the spot. That
with
same
no
night.
personal information, no
No
nothing?
personal information. And I think they were able to like claim HIPAA was because it was like a major car accident.
So it would have like news recordings.
Yeah, so like you could be like, oh, that must have been the major accident that happened.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been that patient's room.
Mm-hmm. I don't think sharing your experience in a very vague way
Right.
could really violate anything.
Right. I have so many good stories.
You really do. Melissa's work stories are top notch.
They're, they're only going to get better.
The more experience you get.
Right. Yeah, I guess I can say this. I had a confused male one time. This wasn't the story I wanted to say, but this is also very funny. I'm just going to put it very like simply and basic. So I had a confused male and he shit himself, as they do, you know, always cleaning up shit. But he was very confused and his bottom was very sore and he's like screaming. And then and he's like, oh, God bless America. And then he just starts belting out, God bless America, land that I love.
I mean, what else?
And
do
I'm
you do?
wiping his ass.
He was just very grateful, I'm sure. That America provides such amazing healthcare where your fingers are in his ass that he can appreciate it.
Like at one point, like I was telling him, like, you gotta be quiet. Like, there are other patients. You have to be quiet. But it was no use.
It's his hospital.
Right. So then I started conducting.
Let's go.
He was good. He was a very good singer.
At least you got a show.
Yeah, exactly. I kept it entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
He was a menace that night, but kept
Make
it
the time
entertaining.
pass by. Yeah.
Right.
7 a.m. before you know it.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about for 25 and what the fuck. My frontal lobe is developed.
Ugh, I hate it.
I feel like the things that I worry about now, I would have never worried about 3 months ago.
Right.
And I feel like I'm just so much more self-aware and anxious. And this could just be because of my life personally and my life blowing up in my face. And I have a lot of things changing right now. So I don't know if it's all of that or if it's simply just my frontal lobe. But the amount that I consider before I do,
Really annoying.
why am I thinking about it so much? I would have never cared really about anything 6 months ago. Maybe a little bit, still had some anxiety,
Yeah.
but not over everything and every
Right.
outcome before I perform something.
And we were like balls to the walls.
yeah, like
Especially
I think
in
about
college.
some shit. I think about shit we did in college, and I'm just like, why did we do that?
I'm a different person now.
I would be terrified to do that now. One, because we could have gotten arrested, and two, just bad choices,
yeah, not a good look.
dangerous choices. I mean, growing pains for sure. Everybody deserves to be stupid and make their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But at 25, I just know better than to repeat those mistakes. But I also think back on it and I'm like, I had so much fun in college. Like, not that I wish I could go back. Like, obviously you have to move forward. But I'm just
Right.
like, I wish I could be fun like that and carefree like that.
Yeah, the carefree.
Again, instead of like
Like, fuck, I gotta
considering
pay
everything.
my rent.
Right?
Mom and dad cut me off officially.
Exactly. I'm on my own. Quite literally. It's me. Make it or break it or I'm behind the Walmart, guys. Like, I can't call off work. I can't go on a fucking 4-day bender and skip class and almost fail and send him a fake doctor's note that I shit my pants. Like, you know, like a fake doctor's note, like claiming diarrhea isn't going to get me out of my problems anymore. Because let me tell you, that is so humbling whenever you do something stupid in college and you need to get out of it. Like, you know, skip class, miss a test, whatever. And you're making fake doctor's notes, literally exposing this fake illness. Like, diarrhea is running down her leg. She cannot come in. I would do that. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would give them gory details that I would literally think of the most disgusting, vile. They could not think I'm lying because why would I expose this?
An abscess on the pussy lip.
If it gets me out of it, if it gets me a makeup date, sure. Sure. My nipple fell off. Whatever the fuck it takes. I don't care. But now, shit doesn't work like that anymore. I can't text my boss. Well, I mean, I could text my boss and be like, I have explosive diarrhea. I can't come in, and that would be okay. But just something about the thrill of doing it in college. Am I gonna waste this $6,000 on a class because I got way too drunk and missed my exam and I can't get a makeup date
Probably.
until I send him a picture of my shitty underwear and then he believes? I'm just kidding. I never went that far. But like, you get it. Like in college.
on the toilet. This is my underwear.
No, I'm not even kidding. If you look in my photos from college, I have a picture of me slumping in a toilet, my head in the toilet, that I took and I sent to one of my like teacher's assistants, and I was like, please, I'm actually sick, I'm dying here, and I'm just like, I can't come to class, can't take the test, and it worked. But I'm just like, why did I do that? Like it worked, but like I could not do that now. I will say I feel like my 25 and what the fuck is like my life has gone, I want to say not necessarily in like the positive directions that I thought it was going to go.
Right.
Not that I'm having a negative experience by any means, but maybe just the way I envisioned my life
Mm-hmm.
going didn't go. And I would say your 25 and what the fucks is like you are actually making adult moves and like the world is just like fucking you over
It's
with
like
the responsibility.
Privileged. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So basically, okay, this will be the wrap up. So I bought a house like a few months ago. Yay.
Amazing. 25, single homeowner.
Single homeowner.
Yeah, you did it on your own.
Yeah.
Single borrower, I think is what it's called. This house is yours.
A
and yours
borrower.
only.
You're right.
Yeah.
Which I do want to mention, I did not do it all by myself. I got like it wasn't like a grant. I got like assistance from a program that helps out like nurses, firefighters, policemen, teachers. So that's how I really afforded the down payment. So anyway, I have this house and I originally took out a loan with this bank, and then the bank sold my mortgage almost immediately to another like loan company, and I made an account with this new loan company. I'd been paying my mortgage to them, and then I get a letter in the mail from the bank that I originally financed with, and they're like, "You owe us $13,000 because you have not paid a single mortgage payment, and your account is delinquent." And I'm like, I hope I don't owe $13,000.
Jump scare.
Jump scare. I think it was right before Mexico I saw that, and I was like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't even see that.
We're just gonna go on vacation and spend $13,000.
I'm gonna worry about this one later.
Fuck the bank.
This is a fight for later. So anyway, yeah, I was like freaking out about that, and it's on my credit. It's on Credit Karma. It's that bank and my loan servicer. Maybe it's called a loan servicer. I don't know. And my loan servicer, they're both on my Credit Karma. So it's almost like I have two mortgages on my credit when I really don't. So I'm like I call this bank and I tell her what's happening. And she's like, "Oh, no, you just needed to pay the first mortgage payment to us." And I was like, "Oh." And she's like, "So it's only like X amount of money." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." And I was like, "But are you sure? Because like, why am I getting this letter? And my account does say I owe $13,000." And she's like, "No, like I'm really sure you don't." Sorry about that.
Technical difficulties. We're still figuring things out here.
bear
Two
with us.
neurons, one mic headquarters. The Geek Squad. Oop,
Fuck.
and there she goes.
There she goes.
The Geek Squad will need to come out and assess the situation.
Stat.
Excuse the blank screen if you're watching on YouTube.
So I'm literally like on the phone with her, just laughing. I'm laughing. I'm like, "You sure I don't owe 13,000? Because that would be really rough." And she's laughing back, and she's like, "No, like, girl."
You promise I'm not $1 million in debt right now.
And it turns out everything's fine. I had to pay my first mortgage payment to them, which I was not aware of, but they waived the late fee and everything. And now I just have to make sure it doesn't get on my credit report. That's the next hurdle.
Just like the amount of adult challenges coming at you that you were just like, you think you buy a house and you own a house. I'm not a homeowner, so I don't fucking know. But like, I would think you buy a house, you own the house, you pay your fucking mortgage, you have your insurance, you pay your taxes, you're cool. But you quite literally have so many people fucking hounding you for so much different shit.
Oh my god.
What is a scam? What isn't? Who do you believe?
I get so much scam in my mailbox. I don't check my mailbox anymore because I'm so scared of it.
They'll call if they need something.
Right?
They'll call
If
shortly.
you really need to get in contact with me, you can find it.
I won't answer, but leave a voicemail.
Right. It's nice having a house because you don't have to worry about rent going up, but
You have to worry about them selling your mortgage and selling your insurance and whatever the fuck else they want to come at you with whenever you quite literally just own a house. That's when I'm like, it's kind of a scam, no? Because technically you own the house, but really the bank owns the house and then you pay the bank.
Right.
And then if you don't pay the bank, the government takes the house.
Mhm.
And then if you pay off the house and you own it outright, but you don't pay your taxes, the government can still take the house.
Mhm.
So it's like, is this all just really one big simulation scam?
definitely could be.
Like, nothing's real. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
this just seems like,
you don't ever own anything in life.
yeah, that just seems so crazy that it's such a hassle and so stressful and like nothing is ever really yours.
Mhm. Also with the bank, I was like, if I owe you nearly like 6 months of rent, why haven't you put a little paper on my door?
If you needed it that bad, would you have waited 6 months?
Right. But also, maybe I threw away like other letters from them thinking that they're scam. But I don't think I have. I swear that's like the first one I got. Literally months later.
I feel like a lot of times that happens. Like, I want to say sometimes I'll get like a bill in the mail from like maybe a doctor's appointment I had like literally months ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, final notice, like this is due or it's going to collections.
right.
And I'm just like, I have so, because I am crippling in debt, I
Mhm.
am so financially responsible and careful. I've never paid a bill late in my life. I
That's
like
so
to make
good.
sure I have so much, like, before I need my bills paid before I do anything.
Mhm.
Like, I will never, because again, fucking drowning in debt, I can't fuck up my credit by paying
Mhm.
anything late. So I'm super responsible like that. Literally gives me anxiety to pay a bill, even like, say you have a 3 days before it's late, I'm
Mhm.
paying it on day 1, or I'm
That is
gonna
so
fucking
good.
like, I can't, I have to take care of it. So sometimes whenever I get letters in the mail and it's like, this is gonna go to collections, I'm like, if you simply send me a bill, I will pay it immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
It's that simple.
yeah, I'm like, there's no way you've sent me 6 letters and this is the last one before it goes to collections, because I simply would never.
Yeah.
I would
like
never do
my
that.
traffic ticket from 6 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like they do that just to scare you, or they literally wait until the last minute so they can just like punish you.
Well, I called the lawyer's office that they were like supposedly sending that to or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, what's your account number?" And like I had an account with them and everything.
That you didn't know about.
Yeah, because
Fuck.
I never paid the traffic
But
ticket.
you never got a ticket in your defense.
Yeah,
That you know of.
that I know of. Like, and they've had all of my addresses.
You've literally lived like 4 different places.
Yeah, so
Probably more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at least.
at least. So it's not even.
How do you leave the scene of an accident without a ticket?
seriously?
I feel like that's just.
I feel like they probably just like put it in the system.
How are you to know though if they
and
never
didn't
give it
give
to
me
you?
a piece of paper.
But it's not like it was some catastrophic thing where like, I don't, not to be like graphic, but you know what I mean? Like, people are hurt and going to the hospital and whatever. It's
Yeah.
like a little fender bender, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
they want to get
oopsie.
you for something, it was just a little oopsie poopsie.
Yeah.
It's not like they were distracted with like saving lives.
Yeah.
They could have easily given you the piece of paper and being like, hey, you owe fucking $73 for this.
I probably still wouldn't have paid it, but
At least you would have known.
right.
And then you could have played dumb from there if you wanted.
Yeah.
But you genuinely, how do you let a ticket go unpaid for 6 years and then be like, rip the
Surprise,
consequence?
bitch.
I know you didn't know, but here you go. It just seems crazy.
Yeah. Lots
I
of jump
feel-
scares.
And I feel like the more things that I learn from you and your experiences, because you're doing so many adult things, now that my frontal lobe is developed, I think about things and I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on?
Well, if you think about it, if I can dodge all of these bullets, you can too.
Really, overall,
And
not
I
that
have
serious.
some mentoring, you know?
Yeah.
I can mentor a little bit.
Yeah. Everything's manageable. You can figure it out. Everything's fine. We got this. We're only 25. We're figuring it out.
I think 25 is full of jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me.
A constant scandal. A constant, what the fuck? Constant jump scare. Every corner.
Constant. I'm going to forget I ever saw that.
Mhm.
I go to Mexico real quick before I pay attention to that bill.
Let's just avoid our problems on the beach with 7 fucking mojitos. I think we should wrap up
Mm-hmm.
this episode by confessing our love to the
To
one and only
Domino's?
Domino's Pizza.
Oh my God.
We just want to say, Domino's, we know you're not listening, but if you ever do, we I personally
Send us a
consume-
pizza.
Send us a pizza. Give us an emergency pizza every week.
Mhm.
Sponsor us. We'll make you so much money. We're always repping. But Melissa and I quite literally eat Domino's at every business meeting we conduct. And this is our new side hustle, right? We conduct a lot of business meetings.
Yeah.
We've been consuming a lot of Domino's.
Yep.
Cheesy bread, 100 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Pussy quivers for the cheesy bread.
Yes.
You know, the pizza always slaps, but nothing compared to the cheesy bread.
Oh my god, the cheesy bread.
So if you ever want to listen, just sponsor us. We love you endlessly.
We love you, Domino's. We give you so many 5 stars.
5 stars, 10 stars.
3 Michelin stars.
Chef Ramsay.
If
you
you're
wanna-
listening.
And you want to give in your 2 cents,
Please do.
don't let us down, fucking Ramsay, okay? Tell them they're great. It's great pizza.
Anyway, so thank you, Domino's and Gordon Ramsay, for listening.
And thank you to our loyal listeners who hopefully have tuned in for the second official episode
and
of Two
haven't
Neurons,
clicked
One
out
Mic.
of the video
And
yet.
haven't clicked out. If you made it to the end, God bless you.
Follow us on TikTok, on Instagram,
On YouTube, on Spotify. Two Neurons, One Mic. All of them.
Yes.
All of the handles.
And tell us your 25 and what the fuck. What is something that was a jump scare to you while you're trying to adult, or something that you really thought you would be doing by now, but you're not?
Mm-hmm.
We would love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Make us feel better.
Please. We love you. Thanks for
Bye,
listening.
guys.
Bye.